Oh, hey, here I am sitting there itching my nose, and we are live, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Mountain Bike Q&A. I'm your host, Johnny U. Um, Thank you so much for coming on and watching this live, watching it afterwards, and listening to it on Spotify or iTunes, which I find interesting. I put it on Spotify, but it gets listened to more on the iTunes. I don't even know how to check that stuff out, except on whatever I'm babbling. But if you could leave, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Costs nothing. It makes me feel all warm inside, and I'll be able to sleep well tonight. And on Spotify, if you could leave a review, And also, I want to do something. If you guys have questions or questions or comments or suggestions for this podcast, feel free to email me at mtbqanda@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you guys, or hit me up on Instagram. Awesome. Enough of this stuff. I appreciate you guys. Blah, blah, blah. Like, subscribe. Let's bring on this guy. I found him watching someone else's channel, and I saw a sploosh over his head on his little thumbnail, little logo. And I said, I got to find out. I got to find out about a sploosh. And I went on his channel, and just an incredible content creator, incredible rider, just floored by watching him ride. And he is from my home state, Maryland, which I didn't know there was so much really good mountain biking. Let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Zane.
Are we live? Let's go.
We're live. I said your name right again.
Yes. Perfect.
Thank you. Zane. Folks, it's Zane, but it's Zane. Okay, just let's end it. It's that easy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Johnny. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm honored to have you. Oh, hold on. Do you mind if we go over to the comment section real quick, because it's starting to flood?
I was looking at that.
Sage, Trail Sage is in the house. Let's get this party started. Yes, forgot to add that one thing, folks. Trail Sage and his buddy Danny have a podcast called Ride and Laugh Podcast. If you don't know about it, go and check it out. I was on their last episode for this season. We had a blast, and you got to go. Don't check it out right now. Check this one out right now, okay? But then afterwards, go check out Ride and Laugh Podcast. Great times. Nick and Katie, East Coast in the house.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They're Jersey people, I think.
Pennsylvania, I think.
Oh, Pennsylvania, that's right.
Up there somewhere, yeah.
Up there. Steve, gonna have some fun tonight. Yes, we are, man. We got a sploosh. How do you not have fun with
exactly?
Not have fun without sploosh. We're going to get to that. Marty Octodad from New Zealand. You're bringing them in from New Zealand, brother.
All the way out.
What's up, MT? And now you got Jarno, Fractured Rider, Finland in the house.
Oh my goodness!
Holy cow! Still hot in New Zealand. Still hot in New Zealand. Endless summer. That sounds like Miami, brother. Holy God! I can't keep up. You're getting it every Kaz. What's going on, brother? Hello, everyone. I can't keep up. I'm sorry. Let's do this. Trail Monster in the house. Hi, all. At work, driving for the next 90 minutes, but I got this podcast to listen to.
There we go.
If I can catch up to all the comments, we're getting flooded, dude. How does that make you feel?
It's great, honestly. I mean, it's your platform. You tell me. This is good.
It's fun. Ride and Laugh in the house, two of our favorite people. Here, John Urella, he just says hell.
I'm gonna assume that's a hello.
I'm gonna assume that, and then my wife MTB TNA. Well, hello there, my friends. Awesome. Zane, I am spent. I am done already. Thank you.
Podcast.
I appreciate you taking the time. So tell me, Zane, where do you hail from? We know you're from Maryland, but whereabouts in Maryland are you at?
Yep, I'm just a little bit south of Baltimore, so I'm kind of in the Elk Ridge, Columbia area, which if you're familiar with the area, there's a lot of local riding. It sounds like we're going to get into a lot of that. Yeah. But yes, I'm right there south of Baltimore, so I get a little bit of all the nature that we have in the counties and then all the city life that we have close to Baltimore.
Yes, Maddie. What a handsome guy. He is very handsome with that nice beard. These guys, they're going to get out of control, and you're just going to delete the comment section.
It's a late night podcast. Let me have this go.
I'm kidding. These guys are great. So Maryland, how long have you lived in Maryland?
Oh my goodness. I've lived in Maryland for, let's see, I've been in America for 24 years. So I've probably been in Maryland for like 20 of those years, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, you're a baby.
Yeah.
Just
I'm in my 30s now. Okay. No spring chicken anymore.
Yes, you should pour a scotch. Of course you should.
Absolutely.
What do you do over there in Maryland?
As far as like work?
Yeah.
So I work remotely. I mean, my headquarters is in Jersey. So my entire career has always been in veterinary medicine. So I've always worked with animals, and I worked in clinics for about almost 10 years or so, and then worked in like research as well. But now I work in pharmaceuticals, and it's still veterinary medicine. So it's all still animal health, but I get to sit at home and take calls all day.
Okay. We're gonna say that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's great. Trust me. It's wonderful. Working from home, never been happier.
Is that hard to do?
You know, some people would probably say yes, and some people would miss a lot of social interaction and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But for me, it is just like, it's night and day from previous jobs, just because I don't know if you've talked to a lot of people that work in medicine, but it's very easy to get burnt out. And especially after 10 years in it, you can get burnt out pretty quickly. Just, 16-hour days, just getting beat up all day, just emergency after emergency after emergency. And then you go into a job where you wake up in the morning, make your breakfast while you're logging into work, and you're still barely rolling out of bed. It's a game changer for work-life balance and everything there. And all my coworkers are great too. So
so you were a vet?
No, so I was a vet tech.
A vet tech. So you got to play. What a great job. Oh my gosh. I had 2 dogs down there. Drive me nuts, but you get to play with dogs.
Oh yeah.
Cats. What made you want to leave that? The 16-hour days?
Yeah, that probably had something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, I was just a little burnt out from medicine, so I was ready to just see what was next. And one of my vets that I worked with, she was like, "Hey, I've got this opportunity, great company. You'll fit right into what's needed at these jobs." So got me an inside interview, and the rest was history.
Nice. So with being a vet tech, is your house full of animals? Have you adopted a bunch?
It was at times. There were times I would bring home an animal or two from work and just to test the waters. But nowadays I'm an empty nester. So I lost my very senior golden. He was a perfect dog. He was almost 14 last year. And I told myself, no animals until I have a house. So we're going to wait like a year or so, and we're going to get a house, and then we'll have all the dogs.
And then we'll have all the dogs.
All of them.
Awesome. Hey, Jeff Jackson just stopped in here. What's going on, brother? Vet tech makes sense. Hold on. God, I'm trying to keep up because he is an animal on the trails.
A sage.
He's a big goofball.
Yeah,
what so let's get what's going on with it. You have a wife, a significant other, or?
Yeah, so I'm engaged. So my significant other, she's out and delivering, watching TV. But yeah, so we live here.
Nice. What first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your engagement. Do we have a wedding date set?
Yes. So all the planning is going into effect, but May 31st of next year. Not this year. I'm not ready for this year, but next year.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. It's great. I just celebrated 18 with this one this weekend.
Congratulations.
We did a little staycation here in Key Biscayne. And I got to tell you, man, we did absolutely nothing. And it was fantastic.
I was going to say, that sounds great.
Have you ever done that?
Yes. The staycation is, especially when there's nothing to do, it's so underrated because your life is always so busy. And then you get to a point where you just have to do nothing for like a week. And it's so underrated.
No creating, no job. I'm talking sitting. That's all we did for 3 days. See, most people would be like, "Oh, I need to go riding and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, no, it was great.
You always got to fit that in.
Oh, it's so good. Hey, Marty wants to know, what's your favorite animal?
Oh my gosh. I love big cats. It's snow leopards. I've always been fascinated by them. They have these massive paws to float over the snow. beautiful animals. Never worked with one. Don't think I want to, but beautiful animals, probably my favorite.
Nice. So let's talk riding.
Yeah.
Let's get it first and foremost. I want to get this out of the way. Well, Sploosh, where did that come from?
So we'll backtrack a little bit here because
Yeah.
we may not have a direct answer here, but as far as naming goes, and Sage knows this story because we talked about this over lunch one day, but basically I wanted to make a channel. The first day I named it the Trail Nomad. So if anyone was able to see my first video and saw it as the Trail Nomad, sorry you saw that. But I realized I was like, that's just not my personality. That sounds so serious. That sounds like people are going to expect me to travel and show them things and educate them. And that's not me at all. So I was like, you know what? That's just too serious. I need something silly because my writing is silly. My jokes are silly. My editing sometimes is silly. I was like, I just want to keep it really informal and fun. And I have a nickname that was given to me back in college that we may or may not fully get into on how that derived, just because it's
okay. We don't need to get too.
Yeah, that's part of that. But otherwise, like the name just stuck, and it's fun. It sticks in people's minds as well. So like it's hilarious when you see a grown man out in the trails that's like, "Hey, Sploosh," because they see me and then watch the channel. It's hysterical. And it just stuck, and I was like, "This is it. This is the name I'm sticking with. It's Sploosh MTB."
That's so funny, and it got me in there. That's what's funny. It got me. I was like, I saw Sploosh, and I'm like, well, I gotta find out more about this.
Yeah,
and not surprisingly enough, but grateful, and I don't know what word I'm using, what adjective I need, but I found your channel, and right away it was like, this guy has fun on the trails. When did the love for the trails start?
Oh man. So I mean, mountain biking in general. So 2018 is when I bought my first bike. So I haven't really been riding all that long. Wow. I try to remind myself of that all the time when I'm comparing myself to stronger riders. But 2018 is when I started riding, and I was just in a weird spot in life, just not exactly super happy with everything in life. So I just decided, I was like, you know what? I kind of grew up the same way everyone rides BMX. You know, I wasn't really hitting 20-foot jumps on a BMX. I was just jumping curbs and, playing around, doing wheelies, things like that. So I was like, I grew up on bikes and I want to get back on a bike, but now I'm like 6'2" and some change, and I want to get on a bigger bike because I would look a little silly on a 20-inch. So I went to my local bike shop. I had a budget. I was like, I'm going to spend $500, no more, because that's too much money already, And walked in there, told them my budget. I got out of there on a XC, very, very entry level Marin Rock Springs 1, which is a super XC bike with a terrible front fork that seized up on me within a year of riding it. So I was riding fully rigid for like 3 years. But yeah, no, just getting out there, getting lost in nature. I just got so addicted so quickly because it had everything I wanted. It had the fitness. I love exercise, fitness. I'm in the gym all the time. It's just euphoric for me. It had fitness. It had nature. It had the adrenaline, because once you start going downhill and just start picking apart lines and jumping over things, you feed off of it so well. So it's just had everything I was looking for at that time, and I got addicted.
Nice. I love that story of the addiction. I remember the first time I did it, and that's when I was like, okay, I have to upgrade. I had to upgrade. I had to get a fork with a shock. I was riding full rigid when I first started, and the first day I rode, I was like, I need a fork, and I got 80 millimeters of Rock Shock Judy, and it made everything better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the 80 millimeters of travel. Isn't that funny? It's like, you could do it. We've got all these expensive bikes with all this crazy electronic shifting and the this and the that and whatever, the dropper post. You can do it without it.
You can do without it. I mean, I look back at some of my videos, that hardtail that I was riding, that XC hardtail that became fully rigid basically because the fork was seized up and I wasn't going to service it because I wanted to spend $500, remember? So I wasn't going to service it. And I look at some of those videos, I was like, I was riding this bike way too fast. Like, this is crazy. This is dangerous.
That's so funny to watch, to hear you say that now and watch your videos. You're like, okay, this guy was a natural, but obviously it took you a minute.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely took me a minute. I mean, like I said, I was addicted. So I was biking at least 3 times a week, if not more. Everything from the local trails, and then obviously in Maryland we have so much riding here that I was just able to explore everything. And I owe a lot of that to one of my friends that I met, which is kind of a funny story if you want to get into it. But I met
Yeah.
my first riding friend because I started taking a few crashes because obviously very new at the sport. You start crashing a little bit, you realize you're alone in the woods when you crash, and you're like, oh, I should probably do the sport with someone, right? So
I
the
need a
only like
friend.
yeah, none of my friends wanted to get into it. It's too expensive. It's too dangerous. I don't know how to ride a bike. I'm like, better excuses. Come on. But I just started posting on Reddit, which is like notoriously, especially back in 2018, it's like, hey, if you want to get your organs harvested, yeah, you meet someone on Reddit. But I was just like, I'm gonna post on Reddit, and I posted on a few subreddits, and I was like, hey, I'm looking for someone to ride with. Let me know. And one of my closest friends now to date, he had let me know. He just messaged me. He's like, hey, I just moved from Kentucky. Let's ride. And then him and I, starting that day, we just rode pretty much like 4 days a week, 3 days a week at least, for like 3 years straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That it's funny and scary at the same time because you don't know what you're getting out there. You get a Craigslist guy who wants to, I don't know. But luckily you found somebody and he's a good friend now.
Yeah, one of the best. Yeah.
That is funny. What is your YouTube? It's Sploosh MTB.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Sploosh MTB. And he'd also like to know, what's your favorite trail in Maryland?
Oh man, I mean, favorite trail system has to be the Frederick watershed. It's just unlimited out there. There's so much, but I would say favorite trail at the shed. They just remade Albatross. You know that it's a huge jump trail, massive gaps, and I can't get enough of it. So it's got to be Albatross at the shed.
I'll sit in the car. I'll sit in the car and wait for you guys to be done. I'll keep the IPAs cool for you. Now with all that jumping, Steve says got to ride at Frederick Watershed, Maryland 24. You have great trails out there.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Hold on. And what's the dirt like at Zane's local trails?
We
Right
have
now is leaves.
Yeah, we do have a lot of leaves, but since we have such a big bike scene in this area, all the trails get not only maintained really well, but they get ridden so much that the leaves are clear for the most part. Now, some of them not so, like the less ridden ones, not as much. But no, we have everything from like areas with like very hero dirt. Like if you go North Baltimore County, just like
Oh,
35 minutes from me, perfect dirt always. It's almost like PNW style dirt a little bit. And then you go a little bit far out west and you get every single rock in the state that is under your tires. So we've got a little bit of everything.
you got a lot of chunk from what I can see.
Oh yeah.
I had ridden in Connecticut at some reservoir or something, and I'm riding with somebody who knew the trails, but I was like, where's the trail? Like it was all leaves and lots of rocks, a lot of big rocks. I'm sure like Dan and Sage like to ride,
Oh yeah.
but it was so alien from Miami. But it was interesting. I'm like, I think even my thumbnail says, "Where's the trail?" Because all you see is a bunch of leaves on the ground. I'm just following the dude, and meanwhile, you got chunk underneath the leaves that you don't even see.
The hidden chunk.
Oh, that's so fun. Um, what God, where was I going? Talking about your favorite ride. So when you got into riding and you had this Marin,
Hmm.
when did you decide? And then you started riding all the time with your buddy. When did you decide like this? I've outgrown this little bike.
Yeah, yeah. It started, like I was saying before, it started to just get borderline dangerous on that bike. It was, especially when you get fully rigid and you start pushing your skill set, you start going a little too fast because nothing's there to slow you down. You've got XC tires that roll too fast. You've got no suspension to absorb any of your speed.
Yeah.
You just started going a little too fast, and the bike was just not meant to handle that. I started hitting some pretty big jumps on it, and I realized I was like, okay, this frame geometry as well. It's just a block, It's XC. It's a straight top tube right across the top. It's
Yeah.
just it was not helping out my progression. So that same buddy that I met, he actually was working at a bike shop at the time,
Nice.
and he straight up told me, he was like, "Look, we can get you any bike, you just let me know." So I started looking at Santa Cruz High Towers, and that was like my first big boy bike. Now I wanted to get an entry level high tower because I didn't want to spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
But this was in the height of COVID, so this was like peak, like 2020, when bike demic was happening. Nothing was coming in. Bikes
Oh.
were coming in with all sorts of different parts because they couldn't fulfill their builds. And he basically told me, he's like, hey, it's been like 6 months of just them constantly saying your bike's on back order, and he's like, that bike's not coming. That sub $3,000 high tower is not coming, but this $6,000 high tower is coming, and it's brand new, like it's not even out yet. So he's like, you want that one? I was like, no, don't save me that bike. I'm not spending that money. Went home, slept on it, texted him the next day. I'm like, I'm coming in, I'll buy the bike.
Nice. Oh, this sport is too expensive.
It is.
It is so funny. It is so funny. Yeah, I've always ridden hardtails, and I live in Miami. What did I need anything for? You're talking about COVID. I remember my one. I had a Specialized rock hopper, and I was like, oh, it was on its last leg, and it was on 2020. And I walk into the first bike shop. I didn't know about that pandemic thing with the bikes. I didn't realize everyone was buying them. So I went in. The only bike that they had was $11,000, and I'm like, oh no, never. Holy cow!
Classic.
What's your favorite bike now? Someone says, what was it? I think it was Dan or Sage says you got a great bike now. Do you have a different bike now?
I do have a different bike. So I recently switched over, sold my high tower, and I'm actually on the same exact bike as Dan, surprisingly enough. So I'm on the S-Works build of the Specialized Stump Jumper Evo, and it's the 2023 model. So as they were going out and switching over to the Stump Jumper 15, they were running some good deals on that. I've got some support from a local shop as well. So we hooked it up, and we've got quite a rig. It is amazing, honestly.
Yeah. I think you did a video on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The look on your face when you're walking over towards it, like a kid in a candy shop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, isn't that a great feeling? You get all warm and fuzzy, don't you? You're just like, oh, there it is. We're big kids, aren't we?
Yeah, you look at it for days on end online, and you see what it looks like. You know what it looks like. You know all the parts on it. You don't need to research any further. But then you see it in person, and it's like meeting your hero, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this is way prettier in person. And I mean, Dan can attest to this. These are very pretty bikes. They do a good job on that.
And what's funny, going back to, we really are just big adult kids.
Oh yeah.
I want a new bike.
Yep. Give me all the beep boops, all the electronics on it. Give me all the shiniest things on it.
And we're adults now, so we get adult toys. We spend the money on the adult toys. It's so funny if you think about it. If you're an outsider looking in, like my birthday was in November, and I pulled up, and my wife is standing next to a YT box. And I had just been talking to my buddy, John Urell's dad, this guy, John Urell's dad, Dave. I was texting him. I said, we were texting back and forth. And I said, well, maybe someday I'll get an e-bike, and then he was like, well, I'd like one because I can't keep up with my kid anymore. And I pull up, and there's a YT box. I already have a Izzo. I'm like, she didn't for my, and I said, wait, is this what I think it is? And she goes, yeah, it's the decoy. And I'm like, which core? And she goes, core 4. And I'm like, wait. So we have fun toys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me get to Sage. This is my podcast. You had yours today. Okay. No, Zane. There we go.
There it is.
There, I messed it up already. Zane's smile and attitude is infectious. His positivity comes through on every ride, but he's also not afraid to share his vulnerability, which I admire so much. They like you, man.
Sage and I are fresh. We just rode like 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Uh-huh. Really? So you guys just met for the first time, or?
Oh no, so that was actually our second time riding together. The first time he actually came up to, actually no, that's our third time riding together. Sorry, Sage. Third time riding together. One time we rode up in Michaud, and just rode some crazy tech stuff. And then the next time we rode up when I was up in North Baltimore County. So we rode up there, and we got a good time out there. And then recently I was just on my way back from a work meeting up in North Jersey. And I was like, hey, Sage, I'm going to be in the area. find me something good. Let's ride. And sure enough, he found us some good stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. He's you guys both. I'll sit in the car watching you guys ride. It's so ridiculous. I mean, Sage and watching you. You know what I could do? I could just film you guys. You need that guy. You need that guy to film you. And that's me. While you're jumping, I'll sit off to the side with my camera.
I know you were talking about wanting to get into jumping too. This is where the progression starts.
Yeah.
This is where it starts. You don't go sit in the car. You come out and you hit the 20-foot jump. You come hit the 3-foot jump first and
3 feet.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's making me sick thinking about it. No, I could do little ones, but the big ones scare me. My sister just hopped in, Maryland, still living in Gambrels.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, who is Lena Sue?
This is probably my fiance, if I had to guess, which I've never actually seen her YouTube name.
Wow. Zane, when are you buying your next bike?
When you let me.
That's so funny. People always talk about their spouses or whatever, and they got to lie about how much they cost. And she's the one buying me the bike. Great. So talk to me about Maryland riding.
Oh, yeah. I mean, where do we even start?
Well, yeah, where do we start? Like right now, it's still quote unquote winter, right?
Not really. We've really turned around the past maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. Today was 60. All the days this week are going to be mid 60s or so. So we're like really coming into spring now. We'll probably, knowing Maryland, we'll probably have like one more snow day or something somewhere in there. But but no, we're pretty much full into spring. Everything's blooming on the trails. So, I mean, the closest riding to me, because now I live 8 minutes from the trails, so I'm riding more than ever, is Patapsco Valley, which I'm not sure. Are you familiar with that one at all?
I'm not familiar with any riding out there.
Oh, yeah. Because Patapsco Valley is a state park that has over 200 miles of trail.
Holy, single track?
Yeah, single track.
Wow, that's where Trail Forks comes in, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really well marked. It's all taken care of really well by like Moore and the surrounding area and everything like that. So honestly, just really good trails. I can get out for a ride. Like I get off at 5 o'clock from work. By 5:15, I'm on the trails. Like it's great.
Oh, that's awesome. How many of those miles have you ridden?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. I haven't done all of them together. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
But I'll put together some big, like 25-ish mile days at Patapsco. And Patapsco's it's a valley. So whatever you go down, you're going back up twice. So the elevation there is pretty serious too. And I've probably ridden, I want to say close to maybe half of it, if I'm lucky. But there's so much of it that also just like is like old school XC trails and stuff like that doesn't always seem that worth it to ride. So sometimes we just go to our old reliable and have fun on those.
That's awesome. So with all that riding and all that climbing, here you go. Marty wants to know,
are you
e-bike curious?
So yes, I am definitely e-bike curious. I've never ridden an e-bike, and I want to keep it that way because the moment I do, Johnny, there's going to be problems. Okay.
I can attest, yes.
Especially with some of the riding I do, like Michaud, Frederick, stuff like that. A lot of people shuttle out there, and I personally also shuttle out there sometimes when my buddies are shuttling with their downhill bikes. But if I had a bike that could just pedal me to the top with minimal effort, and I can just get more laps in and not feel dead at the top.
Thank you.
That might be a move. But for right now, not many of my friends have them. I'm trying to keep the idea as far out of my mind as possible.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to be the only one, you don't want to be the only dude. Like, I'll meet you guys up there. You know, it's a camaraderie. You want to ride and you want to
suffer together.
Hold on. My sister says you've been to Patapsco when you were little. You tried to pick up a snake. Okay. I totally remember we were camping in Patapsco or whatever. Yep. And I thought it was a stick on the middle of the road. And when I went to pick it up, it moved. And I remember it's funny. The whole family took off running. Like the snake was going to get up and chase us. Great memory. Holy cow. That's funny. Yeah. E-bikes. That's a tough one when your buddies don't have one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Well, why don't y'all, go in on,
So right now, I mean, definitely no new bikes for at least the next year and a half or so, because it's all wedding savings from here on out. There's no bikes coming in. Hopefully no bikes going out. But yeah, it's all wedding savings, so we're chilling on bikes. But after that, there are possibilities. Things will happen. I think before I get any e-bikes, I want to get my bike stable. My bike stable is ideally either a hardtail or a short travel like XC bike. Because Patapsco, riding my bike in Patapsco, it's a hog. Like it's a big bike for Patapsco. It's a lot of bike, and it's super slacked out, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
And climbing it sometimes is a pain. So I want to get like a fast bike, and then I also want to get like a full enduro rig.
You have a space for all this.
I mean, hopefully I will. Right now, I've got bikes mounted on walls everywhere in this apartment. So,
oh man, I have a bike. We have 4 bikes total, and I have a closet. I have a carport, and there's a closet that's kind of what would be underneath my stairs in my house, jam packed with a water heater. I got a fan in there and a dehumidifier to keep it from rusting because Florida humidity. I dream of a day.
That's a good idea.
I dream of a day of having like a bike barn, like my buddy Run Bike Mike, or the Steve here, spokesman. He's got a garage with a bar and a work sex station, and it's stupid. Do you dream of something like that one day?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the one criteria when we're looking for a house. I told her I have 2 things I want. I just want a yard and a garage. Everything else, whatever you want. But yard and a garage. The garage is gonna be half car stuff, half bike stuff. That's all I want.
I had to have a pool.
That's a good move too. I don't want to maintain a pool.
Oh my God. Steve's got 7 bikes now. They don't need
Oh
more.
my God.
It's too much. It's an addiction.
10 plus 1, baby.
Here's a question about the riding now in the winter. Maryland really can have all 4 seasons in a week.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird. Like, but you do get warm. You get hot. Do you ever take time off? Do you ever do the summer time off or?
Not really, but my rides in the summer, I end up doing a lot of bike park and things like that because I perform pretty poorly in the heat. Like I overheat like crazy, which is wild because I'm from the equator. But like I just don't do well in the heat. So once it gets like 90s or so, like my rides are either short or I'm just at the park all day, which is great.
No, Steve asked us. So, question: how do you deal with the humidity? I don't. I don't. That's a great question. I don't. I cannot function in August. I cannot ride my bike in, let's say, August.
Yeah, I mean, I still try to. I hydrate a lot. I pre-hydrate, and then I always have my fanny pack and my bottles all full of electrolytes and water. So I'm all about hydration and keeping up where you are before you bonk on sweating everything out.
Yeah, it's painful down here. Hold on, you bought your fiance a Specialized?
Yep, she's on a rock hopper.
So that's I've had 2 of those, actually 3 of them. One got stolen. So do you ride with soon to be?
Yeah. So her name's Selena. So we've been quite a few probably a handful of rides now, and she's kind of, I want to say kind of a natural as far as like she kind of turns her brain off when she's going downhill, which works in her favor usually. She's taken a few spills now, but it works in her favor because she doesn't overthink too much. She just goes for it. So it usually works out pretty well. She loves the social aspect of biking, which is the main reason she wanted to get into it anyway. She saw every time we finish our rides, we're at breweries, we're at restaurants, we're at taco bars. And she's just like, I want to come drink IPAs with you guys.
You're like, no, my guide time.
No, but it's a good time. I mean, we get her out. We've got a bunch of the other, a bunch of my friends, other partners and stuff like that. So we've got everyone out on bikes. We have like girls ride sessions where we get them out to skills parks and I try to show them a thing or two and hopefully I don't teach them wrong.
Wow. That's fun, man. A couple that rides together.
Yeah.
Or at least appreciates what you're doing. So riding out there, what's the scene like? It's community wise. I see you're always riding. I ride by myself. You're riding with tons of people, or you got a good crew going on. I love the camaraderie that you have out there. What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, just starting with the crew. I mean, we've got our group chat. We are always posting up like who's riding where on the weekends, especially like, or even now that the low daylight savings after work. I'm like, hey, hit Tapsco in like 5 minutes. Be there if you want to come. Like, so we'll get that going. But aside from like my local riding group or my personal riding group, we have so many groups in the area that are just like on all the Facebook groups, Patapsco, Lock Raven, Gunpowder, all these areas. People are posting, when they're riding, and all these groups that, my friends are kind of intertwined with. So I'll just hop in on other rides, meet new people, make new friends in more places, shop group rides. So my bike shop does a group ride, another bike shop does group rides. We jump in on those after work. Those are a ton of fun. And then we've got just big events that happen all over the place. So like, I'm partnered with the main the trail liaisons for the area. So more MTB. So they're the Mid-Atlantic off-road enthusiasts. They're hosting rides all the time and events and grand opening for all these parks and stuff. So there's quite a big community, and it's surprisingly really big, and with how big mountain biking is in this area.
That's amazing. And I think it's interesting that you bring that. You're talking about all these different groups that you're involved in. You didn't just buy a bike and started riding. You're big into the community. You're like,
yeah.
Did you set out to be someone like that, or did you just like, I need to ride with people?
That's a good question. I've never actually thought about that. I mean, I think it's the latter. Like I love riding with people. I will drop any solo ride plans to go meet up with people for a ride that is maybe less exciting to me, because it's just, I want to ride with people. I love the camaraderie. Like as you mentioned before, it's like, it's so much fun feeding off someone else's, wins or their struggles or anything like that, and helping them through that. And, even like being able to convey some of my own wins and struggles with those people. So yeah, it's just too much fun with other people.
Yeah. I miss that. You're right. I hear all these people, I have all these people to ride with, and I'm a solo rider. And I think my hesitation with this is the people that I do see down here that have group rides and stuff like that. They're really good. I'll get dropped, and I'm afraid of that. But I guess I can just keep riding my own ride.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's how I got faster and got better, because I was a pretty weak rider before as far as fitness goes and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I came from being a distance runner. I thought I was going to be great at the sport. I was running half marathons, and then I got here, and my buddy with the beer belly beats me up a climb, and he's not even out of breath, and I'm dying. I'm like, there's no way I can't do this. And I just started riding with faster people, and I would get dropped a lot, but I'd meet them at whatever intersection they decided to wait for me at. And I'd be like, okay, give me 5 seconds and we're good.
That's great. There is a group down here that I was on a chat with on WhatsApp, and it was crazy. It's a crazy chat. Like, I could not look at it one day and I missed 150 things, but they all ride like an hour and some north of me. So it's kind of hard to get there.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. But I tell you, I was riding up on the west coast of Florida, and it was so weird. I rode with a buddy of mine. I haven't ridden with a buddy of mine in so long. You do ride better. Like, because there's nothing you talk yourself out of, nothing you scare you. You got somebody pushing you. Yeah. You feel like that's happening with you when you're riding with all these people?
100%. Yeah. And especially when you get someone that either likes to heckle you or just have fun, like someone you're like comfortable with that gets behind you on a ride. Yeah. You want to either show off a little bit, or you just want to, throw a little style in it, things like that. So it helps my riding a lot. I just end up trying stuff, which works for me. That's like a big part of my riding style as well. So I just try stuff. There's things I've never done before on a bike, and I'll just try it just because I've seen it somewhere. I can envision myself do it. I'll just try it. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'll eat a bunch of dirt. It's fine, but I'll just try stuff. And if it works, that looks great.
Says the 30-some-year-old. That's why I don't jump. I'm so afraid of this getting hurt at 53. I'm so bad at shit. JT the Dusty Dutchman says, OMG, what did I miss? Everything. I don't know. He just gave away a ton of money. We did a wheel spin, and he gave away, like, what was it, $10,000?
10,000, 3 bikes.
Yeah, 3 bikes. He was giving away animals too. Someone says, don't worry, we're all just heckling Johnny. Heckling Johnny is a sport we all enjoy. I have feelings, folks, and it hurts. It hurts. So riding out there, I still want to know, is there a lot of trails? You said you like to ride park. There's park out there?
Park is a drive. We really don't
Okay.
have like a true local park. But as far as trails go, I mean, Patapsco is just scratching the surface, right? It's 200 plus miles. It's single track. It's crazy to even have to say that casually these days. Oh, 200 plus miles. Yeah,
I feel like that's all
it's
you
out of my
need.
door. It's outside my door. I kid you not. But then if you go North Baltimore County, you've got Little Gunpowder, which is amazing single track. That's the one I was saying is like always hero dirt. It's so good out there. Then if you go a little bit, even if you want to go further up north from there, you start breaking into like the Pennsylvania border, but you've got a lot of good stuff up there. West is the Frederick watershed. You will never get tired of that. There are so many trails and they're all amazing. Favorite place to ride in Maryland by far. We've got Windy Ridge now, which is just 20 minutes outside of the shed. So now that's big, like bike park size jumps at a pedal up trail system. It's amazing. And really big jumps, honestly. It took me a while to work up the courage to clear some of those black lines.
Do they have loamy fire roads that I can ride?
There's fire roads everywhere. Everywhere. There's a big gravel scene out here too, yeah.
Oh, the Frederick watershed. Where I guess that's in Frederick, but that's Western Maryland, right?
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes out west, yeah.
From where you live, which isn't too far from where my family lives.
Yep.
Okay. God, I really need to get up there.
And then where you lived and your family lives, there's so much trail there. There's Bacon, there's Waterworks. I was just at Waterworks this past weekend. They've put in new jump lines there. It's insane. There's a jump line that literally shoots you to the moon. It's crazy. So there's a lot of support. Waterworks is Crownsville, Maryland. Both Bacon and Bacon Ridge. It's Crownsville. Yeah, very close to you.
Right in between where I live in Annapolis. That you have to go through Crownsville. So when I was younger, you had to go through Crownsville to get there. It's been so long. We got Amy Parthen.
That's my sister.
Oh, hi, sis. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, do it.
She's in North Carolina. You get over there to ride a lot?
Yeah, every time I visit them, I have to bring a bike because they do have some good riding. I like to give her a lot of crap for her state being too hot, but they do have some really good riding. It's very mountain bike centered out there, so it's a good time out there.
It's hot in North Carolina?
It's pretty hot. Their summers are pretty brutal and long summers.
Really?
I mean, they're like right in like Raleigh too, so they're not like closer to the mountains or closer to the beaches. So it's
Okay, I was going to say, I mean, you're talking to a guy who lives in Miami, and you're talking about long summers. We have 10 months of summer, but that's where I want to end up. I want to end up somewhere like North Carolina because I thought it would be in between the heat and the cold.
I mean, I don't know what Miami's like. Honestly, I've never been, but at the same time, like compared to Maryland, North Carolina is toasty. it's toasty, but going closer to the mountains, Western North Carolina is amazing. If I could live out there, hands down, I would. Like the mountain bike scene out there is crazy. The nature scene in general is just crazy. It looks really good.
It's just humid. Nothing a bike can't fix. Now that's riding a bike in humidity is it's extra. I get the heat. I get the heat. I go to California every summer, or the last 2 summers to ride, and it's 100 and something. I'm not even sweating.
Yeah, not a problem.
It's a dry heat. Stop complaining, folks. Stop it. So, okay, you're addicted to riding.
Yes.
It's your thing now. Since 2018. You decide, Sploosh. From being a vet tech to sales, animal sales, not animal sales,
pharmaceuticals. Yeah.
And now you want to start a YouTube page. Where do you get off?
Where do I answer that question?
Was this something when you first started, you were like, let's do this, or you started getting better?
No,
let's do this.
It's funny. I'm going to bring up Trail Stage again. When I started riding, you just start YouTubing, right? I like YouTube. I don't really watch much TV or shows or anything like that. So when I have downtime on my computer, I'm playing games, or I'm on YouTube, right? So I'm looking up things I'm interested in. I start riding, start looking up my local trail systems. I get a lot of stuff in the Pennsylvania area because I was in North Baltimore County before. I start seeing old trail stage videos. I start seeing other local riders videos. And I'm like, man, there's a few people out here. But then you start comparing it to other places like Asheville. You start comparing it to places out west, Utah.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, that's like there's a lot of saturation out there. There's a mountain bike YouTuber for every 10 people out there.
Yeah.
So I realized I was like, I want to make good videos for our local area. There weren't too many people doing our local area just yet. There were just a few, maybe like one or two at that time. And I had ideas and I wanted to put them somewhere. And I was like, you know what, let me just start making videos. It started really rough, I'm not going to lie. But I mean, everyone kind of does, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I look back at it and I'm just like, okay, my editing and writing style and everything like that has changed so much, but I like to look back at it too.
So, but when you started, you started just to kind of, catalog your rides and just look back at them, or?
Kind of. I was mostly putting together not quite informative trail videos, more so just like it was almost just like ride vlogs, right? It was just like you're gonna hear me talk about stuff that happens. I might throw in a third person POV shot. You might see some level of production in there, but really it was just, hey, I got a GoPro on my chest. You're gonna watch me ride. If you want to know about the trail system, this is your way to get a POV angle of it, and that's kind of it. That's how it started. And I've pivoted pretty far away from that nowadays. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say too far, but
no, you do. I love this. I love, because I do this for a living, not this, but I'm in television, and just long format content just scares the heck out of me, because now I have to do what I do for a living at home. But I see people who do have different jobs doing it and killing it. And were you comfortable with it at first? Were you comfortable in front of the camera? Were you comfortable with hearing your own voice and editing? I'm always interested in this.
Not at all. Especially when I first started, when I first started just talking to the camera, no, I'm not comfortable at all. I would hear my voice and there would be so many times I'm like, yep, I got to mute that portion. I got to cut that portion. That sounds weird. I don't know why I said that. Why did I even say it like that? So there were a lot of things where, you have to get into over editing, but I realized I have to stop overthinking it too. It's just, people are going to watch the videos for you if they enjoy you. So, and that you're not going to be able to change. So might as well make the footage you're going to make anyway. So I stopped overthinking it as much. There's still times where like I'm recording my voiceovers and stuff, and I'm just like, why did I say it like that? So I have to just do a bunch of takes. But no, there definitely was a time to get used to it. I would say even till now, I'm not really like a face to the camera type of person. There's not, it's not the most comfortable thing, but I'm getting there. So whenever I do vlog some things, I'm just like, oh, that's a weird face. Let me cut that portion.
You do get a little self-conscious after a while looking, and you're like, that's not a take I want.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're like, I didn't do another one, but I don't want to put that on there because I feel like I look like a goof.
Yeah.
Sage says your editing has come a long way. Go subscribe, folks. You won't be disappointed. You won't. That's why he's here. I couldn't get enough of his stuff, folks. JT says, don't be a YouTuber. It's a trap. It really is.
It is.
Steve just subscribed. So there you go. Got another one.
There we go.
Now with YouTube, and we all have that like comments and looking at the numbers and seeing what works. Do you feel like that's almost like, or do you just put out what you want to put out, and whatever it is, it's in the ether, and I enjoyed it?
I would say I was doing that a little bit more last year. Last year I was really focusing on numbers for some reason. And I don't know why. I guess I thought I was like, okay, maybe I can crack some code here and make it go. And I was trying to do like weekly uploads and everything because I was writing so much. And I realized the content I was making just wasn't fun anymore. Like I was still having fun writing, but I wasn't making fun content anymore. So I was like, I really want to make my videos more of an adventure and bring people along for the adventure and add so much entertainment value. I want someone to watch this and feel the energy of that. So even if I'm suffering, I want you to feel how much I'm suffering. If I'm sending big jumps and, in a huge party train with the guys, I want you to feel that. So that's really where I pivoted and I was like, I don't need to make weekly uploads and watch these numbers go up by 2 subscribers at a time. You know, I
Yeah.
don't need to do that. I want to make fun videos that even I can look back on and just be like, oh, that was fun. That was a fun day, captured well, put together well. I'm happy with that. So I would say these days I'm not so worried about the numbers. I think I was just talking to Sage about this the other day. I was like, man, I really like the idea of just like organic growth. If I go viral overnight on a video that somehow does well, maybe I didn't do too much different, and everyone, you know, it pours in, say, 10,000 subs, right? That level of growth is going to be a lot of people that expect something completely different on the next video, or expect, you know, some clickbait here or there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just not me. So it's like the people that, you know, have to watch 10 videos to subscribe to the channel, and they're like, never mind, I do like this guy's style and this guy's editing, I'm going to stick around. I love it.
Yeah. The natural growth of everything. Some people have said, don't you want to, especially on Instagram as well, is like, wouldn't you want to push it? Have Instagram push it? I guess you can pay.
Yeah,
And
boost
I'm
it.
like, no, this is just for fun. We got jobs.
Yeah,
We got you. Oh God, JT was peer pressured in. He subbed too.
let's go.
Hey, Tank is in the house. MTB Tank out there in SoCal. Nar, you got it, bro. Hold on, let me catch up. I like your values. Do it for you. The people will follow.
Heck yeah.
Yes, it's fun. Now, do you enjoy creating? Are some rides just for you?
There are a lot of rides that are just for me, especially these days when I live so close to the trail. There are a lot of rides just for me. I do not want to bring a camera on every ride,
Yeah.
but when I do bring the camera, I do enjoy. Like, there is so much satisfaction in getting the shot that you want. There's so much satisfaction in going back and seeing the sickest line that you wrote, and you got the perfect angle on everything right. The lighting was perfect, and there is like a good amount of like almost like artistic expression in it. Like, it is, for the majority of the time, it's a lot of POV GoPro footage, but sometimes the way you can put it together, the way you can, you know, audio match things and time sync things perfectly, and there's a little bit of artistic expression where I watch it back and I'm just like, I like what I made. So I do enjoy creating.
That's awesome. And I like the fact that you're not all POV.
No.
You got a lot of, man, I don't know what's going on with me. I got like a hiccup burp thing going on here.
Oh no.
What I like about you is that you get that extra B-roll and you get the
Always.
friends riding and stuff. What do you have a lot of equipment, or is it just all GoPro?
Nope. So the GoPro is all the chesty stuff and all the POV stuff, but then my phone, and I'll swear by it, I'm sorry, all the iPhone people in the chat, but the Android camera quality, I'm able to capture some of the sickest B-roll shots, and I've just gotten like really in tune with my phone camera these days. And I know you've talked about the phone camera a lot on your pod as well. It's a game changer, man. And that's the thing. I do want to level up. The more it grows, I want to save up for an actual camera, something I could take out, you know, stow it in the pack and get some good shots. Yeah, something like that, basically.
Yeah, I'm still having trouble with this. I shot a whole video with a guy. We were doing he wanted to take me out and show me what coaching is like.
Mm-hmm.
And I shot it with this, like our interviews and back and forth. And it's focused on something way in the background most of the time. I don't know if I want to put that video out. We shot it in October and I still haven't put it out. And he's like, you owe me a video. And I'm like, it's bad, dude. I should have checked the gate before I took off. Oh man. Oh no, he's a green. Oh, my wife says, oh no, he's a green texter. I'm out.
The green text bubble is here and it's staying.
Dude, I shoot most of my work video with this.
Yeah.
It's a wide angle. It's a wider angle. It gives you more options. You can get really close up. You get really cool shots. Oh, hold on.
I get so many comments that are asking me what camera I'm using for certain B-roll shots and stuff, and I tell them it's a Galaxy S23. It's not even the benchmark phone. It's just up there.
Let's go ahead, folks. If you're listening on any other podcast thing.
Oh no, we're way back. We're way back.
Yeah, we're doing a deep dive here.
Oh God.
We are on his YouTube Sploosh MTB. Just YouTube Sploosh. I can even tell you early on, your thumbnails start getting better.
They definitely improved with time, but man, it was rough in the beginning. It was just a screenshot of the video, not even formatted to size.
What I love this. I love the beginnings. Even my beginning was so different. I didn't have all this stuff, and I did everything on Zoom, and I had this really cheesy. It was a chain ring with MTB Q&A in it. It was, now I've got that. It's not a sploosh. You got stickers, bud?
I need stickers. I need to up the merch game. I need stickers. I need, coasters, whatever. But I need to start getting into designing. Yeah.
You need to get. Go to. What do I use? Sticky Brand.
Yeah, there's a few big ones out there.
Sticky
Sticker
Brand
Fly and all that.
Vista Print. Oh, the lanyards. CustomLanyards.net. That's where I get my koozies.
Hey,
I got koozies. You gotta. Nothing keeps your beer cold like a sweater for your beer.
Exactly.
Oh my God, the Android, yes. Here you go. What's Zane's favorite bike park?
So not a local one, but 5 hours southwest, Snowshoe Bike Park. I went for my first time this last year, and oh my gosh, I was in heaven. That was a 3-day trip. We made the most of it. We rode backcountry as well without lifts, and oh man.
I was watching that video today, I think. And I used to ski snowshoe.
Oh yeah.
A lot. And I didn't know, I guess like any other place, once mountain biking started getting bigger, they were like, hey, we can make money during the summer.
Yep.
Oh, it's so fun. Let's go back to his page. We're going back to his page, folks. We are going back to Sploosh MTB. Yeah, Dan says I need a Sploosh MTB coaster. Hold on. Oh my God, posters. Johnny, get a poster made. I'll kiss it before bed. It'll be very reminiscent of my Eddie Vedder poster in middle school. Yeah, I said what I said. I apologize for her. She married me. So Sploosh. Hold on. Okay. We got to pay the bills. Let's go to his very first video.
No,
we don't have to watch the whole thing. Now, sir, this is
the XC bike.
Look at that. Got it on your chest. See, I go far back enough. I had a GoPro Hero 2, and it was mounted on the handlebar. Didn't have a chesty then. And you could just hear the GoPro rattling the whole time. So you just have to kill the audio and put some music to it. I've never put that stuff. Hey, we're live right now. Look.
Hey, there we are.
Look right there off to the side. We're live. There's 15 people watching. But from this riding stuff, were you even talking in this? I don't even have your audio on.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm always exclaiming on the trails, no matter what. I'm if a route jumps out at me, I'm like, oh my God, there's a route. Or like, I'll say something really silly along the way too. Whatever just pops into my head. A little bit of trail ADHD.
Now, here's a funny question: do you ever do that, and then all of a sudden see someone else riding near you, and you're like, okay, I got to stop?
Oh, I do that regardless, even when I'm not recording. Any of my friends that either ride in front or behind me or something like that, they will tell you, they're like, you yell a lot. I'm like, I know. I know.
Because my buddy's like, I have this one friend that I'll ride with every now and then. He's just like, quit talking. And I'm like, I have to in case I do put it out as a full length video, which I never do. Oh my gosh. It's so weird. I'm looking at the screen, but I'm trying to maneuver the mouse. So, okay, you went from your first little stuff. Where's the one? Snowshoe. There it is.
Oh yeah, that's the backcountry video too.
Holy cow, dude! That was so much fun.
Yeah.
And to see that when I used to ski it. And I'm like, there's mountain biking there. And I've seen videos of it. See, look at this. This is his Android right here, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's sticking to the Android.
That's for life.
The Android for life, Mr. Green Bubble. Where we at? Where every now and then we'll get you. Every now and then we'll get you. Gotta pay the bills again.
I like to switch it up a lot. Get different angles everywhere. Get my face in there every now and then.
So you already talked about the sploosh. What about your logo? How'd that come about? You were like, well, I am Sploosh.
Yeah.
Might as well throw my face on it.
I was trying so hard to make logos one day, and it was just one after the other, and they were just getting worse as the night went on. It was like 2 a.m. at one point, and I was like, I gotta do better. And like, maybe like I have friends that are in graphic design and stuff. Like, maybe I'll just turf this over to them, buy them a 6-pack and see what they can come up with. And then I realized, I'm like, you know what? This is like the rise of AI. Let's just see what we can do here. Put a few selfies into some AI generators, got a picture, started editing that one through, edited the colors out, got a background on there, found the text I liked. I was like, you know what? I like this. And I made it myself, so I'm even happier with it.
Oh, it's a good looking face. Look at this. Hold on. Let's go back to the, look at that. Look at that, folks. Ain't he handsome? I'm embarrassing him now. You have so many. Which one did I can't remember? The look faster one. That's what I need.
Oh yeah.
I watched that and took notes.
Mm-hmm.
If anything can make me look a little bit faster here in South Florida where there is no speed, I'll take it. What's your
work really well there too. So I mean, it's all about creating motion blur. So you get an ND filter on there. You play with the GoPro settings to have specific spots to stop there, and as long as you can get some good smooth footage, like it looks really fast and really clean. It would probably look really good in Florida, especially with all the trees and everything.
Oh yeah, folks. So if you are listening on Spotify or whatever, go. It's called, where is it called? It's called Look Faster. Make your GoPro footage look faster. Here he is. Look, you know, I could have taken a screenshot of that. Look at this. He's going 2 miles an hour, but the way he has his GoPro settings, look at that.
Stick around, and I'm going to show you just how to do that.
No, we're not going to stick around. You just got us in there. You pulled us in. Has mountain bike content creating inspired you in any way, or do you feel good about doing it? Do you get a lot of good feedback?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, as far as like inspiration goes, it makes me want to try a lot more things, because like you always want your footage to look better, right? So you're always looking for better ways to film, better ideas, even more things to try on the bike that looks better. More recently, GoPros have come out with this super wide angle view that gives you even better shots and 5.3K. Yeah, and all of that, which I haven't even dabbled in any of that yet. So once I get into that, who knows? But yeah, it inspires you to want to keep doing more. Also exploring more, to going out to new trail systems. Mm-hmm. More than likely, if it wasn't for YouTube, I'd probably still be doing this, because I love to ride new places, no matter how tame they are. But I'll get out to new areas, and it's just so much more fun to be able to catch it on camera as well and put something together.
Kelly Domestique, great watch. Thanks so much.
Hey.
I just started following him on Insta, and I'm pretty sure I subbed him on YouTube. Thanks so much. Great content. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Now riding with your buddies. You said you're only 8 minutes away from the Patapsco, mm-hmm. But you're a weekend warrior, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I'll get in post-work rides, but yeah, big rides, especially big rides for videos, especially, are all weekends. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just, boys, guys, girls, we're heading out.
Anyone. Yeah. Anyone. We're heading out. I'm going to be here. If anyone can meet up, go for it. And a few people will usually jump in. So it's a good time.
It's just the community, really.
Yeah.
I love this community. I'm not even I'm part of it here, but again, we'll talk about that. Well, maybe we'll talk about that another day. Some other people, and I'll cry on someone's shoulder about it. But what this community, what I like about is the camaraderie. And I say this a lot in my stuff. There's not a lot of ego. Like, I'll catch a guy on the trail when I'm taking a break, get some water, and we'll start chit chatting, and then I'll follow him, or I'll follow him. Let's be honest, he's following me. But yeah, it's just, we're big kids on bikes.
Yeah.
And is that how do I get this question out? You're still in a chat, or you just ride with your guys?
Oh, I mean, we have group chats and everything like that, but I
Yeah.
get a ride with anyone. So like, I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups, and if people are organizing rides there too, and I don't even know them, I'm just like, hey, what time are we meeting up? I'll join in. So I've met so many people doing that. I ride with a group of really diverse riders called the Minority Mountain Bikers, which is a big part of getting diversity into mountain biking. And all of
Mm.
those guys, I met so many people through them as well. So it's a good time.
That is interesting that you bring up diversity. Like, I don't even think about it. Real honestly, I don't think about it. Like, is it diverse? Is there a big diverse
It's getting there, but
group of mountain bikers?
it's definitely, I would say it's more diverse in our area, but I mean, if you look at other places, mountain biking is not, it's definitely got its key demographic, and it's not that diverse, which is not generally a problem. But if you want to get more kids on bikes, more future generations on bikes, you want the diversity. You want people to be able to look up to someone that they see that they can relate to and say, hey, if they can do this and they came from the same background as me, I should be able to do this too. I want to get on a bike. And that's how you raise generations of mountain bikers in more diverse communities coming from more diverse backgrounds.
That is interesting. That's something I never think about. Is there different, I don't even know how to say it, cultures or ethnicities? I just never think about it when I'm riding. Like
Yeah.
people of color. Like I never think about it. Like MTB Allen always says, I'm a brown guy that I never even thought about it. I just see a rider.
Yeah. I know he's a big advocate for diversity as well. So I'm all about it.
Wow. So you have diverse rides or
Oh, yeah.
all inclusive rides?
Oh yeah, it's super
Yeah.
inclusive. Like even the minority mountain bikers guys that I brought up earlier, their whole group motto is just like everyone's included, but it is minority focused. It's a space where a lot of minorities will get together, and they'll be like, hey, we have a lot in common because you know my dad didn't grow up and give me a mountain bike when I was 6 and show me how to ride trails. I just
Yeah.
picked this up when I was 35. So now we're all doing this together in our old age. So it's definitely a very unique experience as well.
Wow. That was enlightening for me. Like you being somewhat of somebody of you said you're from India.
Yeah,
Another kid from India sees you, riding a bike, somebody like them.
exactly.
I never think about it, man. I learned something today, folks. I didn't think I was going to be learning. That's really interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Well, thank you for doing that.
Hey, it's all part of the process. You just I just enjoy riding bikes with people, and people that have interesting stories or interesting personalities, just fun people. And I don't look at it from a perspective as like I have to ride with diverse groups. But when I am riding with diverse groups, you tend to understand too. You're with a diverse group because you notice like everyone's sense of humor is a little different. We're making different jokes, we're having different experiences with these people. So it's a good way to kind of dip your toes into everything and just experience life from all angles.
Now, have you had anybody, and this is, I don't know if you can answer, have you had anybody come up and say, I saw you, you inspired me?
Not yet. I mean, I can't say I do. I mean, I don't feel like I do too much inspiring. I hope someone out there is getting inspired, but at the same time, no. I mean, there's definitely been a lot of people that are like, hey, I tried out this trail system because of your videos and I love it. Or like, hey, I bought my first mountain bike because of your videos and I love it.
Wow.
And that stuff, that's game changing for me. Like someone says that to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've influenced someone to get into this horrible addiction. I'm so sorry, but
I'm sorry I'm costing
you
you
might
a
not
lot of
regret
money.
it. Yeah, you might not regret it. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah. Oh
Do you
gosh.
see what's on the
She's
screen?
getting soft on us.
Oh, man. My teeth hurt. That's so sweet. Holy cow. What's her name again?
Selena.
Selena, thank you so much. That's going to be my reel for tomorrow. More like you peer pressure me to ride bikes.
She does it for the beer.
Does it for the beer. Oh man. So riding in Maryland, touched on Maryland. You're close to a lot of other places in Maryland. I know like Maryland's not like Florida. I'm 7 hours, 8 hours until I even get out of Florida. Do you get to venture out a lot?
Oh yeah. I would say probably every 2 months or so. We're in a different state at least. I was just in Micho with my buddy Vijay, like, I don't know, less than a month ago, and that's Pennsylvania, so hour and a half that way. You go hour and a half south, you're in Virginia, so lots of good riding down there. 2 hours, you're at the bike parks in Virginia, so Massanutten and Bryce Bike Park, those are good times. So we'll get down there. North Carolina when I'm visiting my family. So I try to get out all over, and then if I ever go on vacation, I'm gonna make a day for biking. Like it's gonna be good.
That's awesome. The toddlers are inspired. You just got family. Look, Sage and your fiance are back off, Selena. I saw him first, and then she's like, "You can have him, Sage." Holy cow! I think during this podcast you had a fiance, and now you have a Sage,
which means more bikes.
Which means more bikes. Is he really that nice in person?
Oh yeah, Sage is. He might be one of the most positive people I've ridden with. He is just. He's just glowing always.
He's so full of positivity.
Yeah.
It's sickening. I want some anger out of some of you people. It's just a really great community. It really is full of positivity. And no, I haven't met any egos yet. You get some bike shaming every now and then.
Yeah. And even that, like, if I do see like egos on the trail, those are just people I just don't align with. Like, I don't enjoy riding with those people. It's human to make mistakes, right? So if someone tries to play off every mistake as to like, oh, this log wasn't here before, I'm just like, okay, you had a log, that's fine. But it's I don't know. It's just humility.
There's bike shame. My buddy, we went to Alafaya on the east or west coast of Florida, and he was riding like a 10 or 15-year-old, it's got to be 10, a Scott Spark, just old geometry, handlebars cut down like he was a bike messenger in New York, really bad, just everything. It was just old. I'm on an e-bike and he is outriding me. And we pull up and people are like, look at that. I'm like, yeah, he just killed it on that.
Yeah, he knows his bike.
It's his bike. Hold on, oh no, ego isn't waffles. Okay, Lego, my ego. So with riding and content creating, forget the content creating, riding. Have you, outside of your little circle, have you been able to travel?
Yeah. So, I've ridden in a few places. I've ridden in Colorado a handful of times, which is a great time whenever I'm vacationing, visiting family, anything like that. I was supposed to ride in Tahoe when we went, 2 years ago, but that's like right after they had 80 some inches of snow on the ground in spring. So I was like, okay, I guess we'll ski. So we skied while we were out there. But otherwise, I try to ride like whenever I travel anywhere. So like when I go up north to my work meetings in North Jersey, I try to get in rides there. So I had 2 years ago when I had my last work meeting, I rode Mountain Creek Bike Park in Jersey. Great time out there. And then on my way down this time, I hit Sears with Sage. So kind of everywhere I go, I try to think about ways to make it a little bit about biking, like one day at least.
Yeah, that's great. We're thinking about traveling this year. My wife and I to St. Lucia. We're throwing that out there. And right away, I saw a mountain in the background of the picture. And they have mountain bike tours and stuff. I'm like,
do it.
Done. Do it. Go pro. So what's your favorite place to ride? And not just in Maryland.
Ooh, outside of like I'll focus outside of Maryland, because Maryland, there's just so much. But let's see, outside of Maryland, I don't know, Western North Carolina really is some of the best stuff, period. Like you've got everything in Asheville. So you've got Canoga, you've got Seth's new place, what's that one called? Burn Park, you've got Rock Creek now. You've got so much out there. And then just the whole Pisgah Forest as well. Yeah. And just all along the Blue Ridge Mountains. So there's just so much in Western North Carolina, and they've always got good dirt. Like that's pretty high up there. I haven't ridden in the PNW yet, but that's like my dream. I want to get out there and ride in the PNW. Like Bellingham, I've got some friends out there that I see some of their content. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's dreamy.
Yeah, you got to get, where is it? Yeah, Bellingham. I got a friend that moved out there, and I've seen you see so many videos. We spend so much time
Yeah.
on YouTube that you see it all the time. Steve says hello from Colorado. Come on out. He'll host you. I guarantee it. I mean, I'm not, Steve. I'm not inviting him to your house just yet, but you can host him on the trails.
I'll be there in 2 weeks, but I'm skiing.
How about Snow Summit in SoCal?
Oh yeah, definitely. I haven't ridden. Have I ridden in California? No, I haven't ridden in California, but I would love to ride in SoCal. It amazes me how some SoCal riders ride, because I see their dirt. I'm like, where's the traction? There's no traction. Even your trails, I'm sure I would probably feel the same way.
Yeah, but you're like this on my trails here. You're
Yeah.
just, as long as you're pedaling. There is some really good stuff. I don't know if you've ever looked up Virginia Key or Markham Park. You should hit some of those videos. They're fun places to ride. God, I'm just surprised at Maryland.
Yeah. I don't even think I've named all of them yet. I'm surprised, like the Bacon and Waterworks ones that are near where you were from. That area is so good and constantly being built up. They have they call it a bike park. It's a skills park, really, but it's 3 jump lines built over there and varying in difficulty. And it's now a skills area where people didn't have a skills area before. It's so XC focused. And now they've got big jumps. I'm talking big jumps out there. So they definitely have some good stuff coming up everywhere. I mean, we recently I told you about those big double black jump lines and stuff like that, Windy Ridge. That was one of my favorite videos to make, because we had my buddy with the drone come out and everything, and that was so much fun. That video also did really well and kind of started my partnership with more MTB as well. So that was like one of those things where it's like we got something in our area that like we didn't have before. We didn't have double black jump lines, and now it's there.
Wow. Hold on. Which one is that? Holy cow. Where's that one?
Would have been last year, so it's not too recent, but it's right there, Windy Ridge.
Which one?
Just
Windy Ridge?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I started that. I need to get premium if I'm going to be pulling up people's.
I don't know premium either.
Okay, yeah. I started watching this one.
Yeah.
See, look at that Android, folks.
Yep.
Drone and an Android. This guy shreds. I wasn't lying when I said he shreds, dude. This guy, his crew, again, I would sit in the car, or I would be holding your Android and getting the shots for you, because I could be that friend. I could be that friend, man. If
we can always appreciate that friend.
Huh?
We can always appreciate that friend.
You know what I love about this? Doing what I'm doing is that I feel like wherever I go, pretty much in the country now, and outside of the country, Finland, New Zealand, I got someone I can hold a camera for.
Yeah, or just ride with.
I don't know about all that. Oh, man. I just got to pull this up again, man. I just love watching it. Look at this guy. And this is in Maryland.
Yeah, this is Mount Airy.
Mount Airy.
Yeah, it's even closer to where you're from than the Shed, so it's probably about 35 minutes from.
Is that near DC?
Not quite. I mean, it's definitely further west, so it's still north of DC, but it's just closer towards the mountains. It's probably 35 minutes from the Frederick watershed, maybe less.
Tara, Mount Airy. Is that near where our great grandmother lived? It sounds familiar to me. I don't know. Nevertheless, I have never ridden in Maryland. Now you make me want to ride.
You have to. I'm telling you.
My mom has this tight hold on me when I come home and visit. She's no.
That makes sense though. That's a mother.
Mind if I hold your camera? These guys. Be the friend that holds the camera. Do not be the friend that makes your friend use an Android. Oh man, you're getting. Your
wife's going after me.
Holy cow. So, holy cow. This is so good. This is so good. You're doing good. I'm just kidding.
Appreciate it.
Like, I don't need your.
I didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, first time doing a live podcast. Let's do it.
That's funny to me. I'm surprised you haven't done more podcasts or haven't. This is your first podcast?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you very much, sir. Folks, he's at 2.49 thousand subs. Let's get him up to 2.5, if you don't mind. Everybody in the chat, please sub. Anybody who's listening later, please sub. I would love it. He would love it.
I would.
What gets you on the bike? What is it about it that gets you going, that you crave it?
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, I love the fitness from it. I love just getting outside, but I think my favorite thing is the creativity. And I know that's like a weird way to word it, but it's just like I love being creative on the bike. So if I see a weird log that's not meant to be hit a certain way, I want to hit it the way I see it in my head. Like it's just there's so much creativity that you can find on the trail, especially when you're like bike parks are made so structured in a way they're like, okay, this jump is big enough that if you want to, you can double or triple, you can go as big as you want on it.
Yeah.
But on the trails, you don't really get that. You see, okay, there's this random hump here that was made because it rained too much one day. And now I'm thinking like, if I go fast enough, I can jump off that hump, throw the back wheel out and try to land in that is like that bush over there. And it's going to be so sick and it's going to feel so good on the landing. And that's really what, like, I don't know, that I feed off that so much. I get on the trail, I do something like that, and my rest of my ride is just golden.
You're a jumper.
I do like to jump, yeah.
You are a jumper. You like to send it. You like to feel the feeling of flight.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like airtime, honestly. Like when I first started getting in the air, I think drops were way more comfortable for me than jumps. And I think that's probably what most people feel. There's less forces on you when you're hitting drops. So like even before I was hitting any big jumps, I was hitting like this. I don't know if you've seen Virginia has a bike park called Bryce, and they have a drop on the trail called Hooch, which is their double black trail. It's disgustingly big drop. It's massive and it looks great on camera because it's so big. Yeah. But before I was hitting any big jumps, I was like, yeah, I'm going to hit that. And everyone's like, what are you doing? But that was so comfortable for me. And ever since then, yeah, I've just constantly finding ways to get in the air. Got more comfortable with jumping this year, especially now that I'm on like a long, slack, stable bike with more travel. It's been fun.
Getting creative. I never really thought of it that way, being creative. I just ride, but now that you think about it, you're picking a line, choosing, different ways to do something. I guess never thought that was the creative part. I was just riding. Meddy's favorite thing on his bike is the battery and motor.
I can't hate on that.
I feel like Sploosh should be what you say in a mic drop moment. Like when you own someone in an argument, you go, Sploosh, mother. Sploosh. She's random, but she's cute.
On it. Yeah.
She's cute. 18 years, folks. 18 years. Now, do you find that I know you don't wear a camera every time, but is your camera for when you're experiencing something different, something new, and you want to share that?
Yeah, I think for the most part, I want to tell some kind of story, right? So it's not always the same thing. That's a lot of what my videos focus on too. There's a lot. I do want to create production value, and I want to create experience for the viewer rather than just like, hey, watch me ride a trail and experience it my way. Like I want to create some level of, like not quite like hold on to your seat, but it's like, hey, watch this. Like watch what's about to happen. You'll probably enjoy this. So I want to create some level of just excitement for the viewer. So when I do these things, I do want to tell a story. So I don't want to. No two videos should really be the same. So when I put that camera on, it's very much in my head. I am going through some level of narrative. It's like, okay, what am I really trying to get out of this footage, I should say, when I make a video? So some days I'm struggling. Some days I'm falling off every single rock I get on. I'm, balking on a climb when I'm 2,000 feet elevation gain. Some days it's hard. I want to convey that because, some of those that riding is hard. And I feel like people can relate to that. And then unlike Sage, Sage 2,000 feet is his warm up. So he's the only one that can't relate to that. And then some days I'm feeling so good. I'm boosting all the jumps. I'm getting 20, 30 footers going, I'm learning my whips, all this stuff. And I feel like people can relate to that as well. And people can feed off that energy. So a big part of my production as well is a lot of like audio syncing. I love music. Music is a big, I don't know if you can tell from all the posters behind me, it's all musicians, all artists. And I love music and I love incorporating that into my videos. There's times where there shouldn't be music. There's times where you should hear the chunk, you should hear the rubber on rocks. But
Yeah.
there's times where music just enhances the footage so much, especially when you're going for production, just experience value. And I love incorporating like good, like a specific, like a drop on certain points, dramatic music on certain points, things like that. So I do really like to play with that.
You really do love that creative aspect.
I do.
And I think it's, again, you just started. What are you editing on?
DaVinci Resolve.
I hear that's incredible. I heard
It's
DaVinci,
great.
and it's free.
Yeah, I'm still in the free version and I've got everything I could need. I look at some of the paid things and I'm just like, I'm nowhere near using these features.
Yeah. Do you script anything, or do you have an outline of something before you go?
Not before I go. Honestly, I usually like I said, I want the video to kind of convey the energy that was on the ride. So I go back, I watch the footage, and that's when I start kind of making a narrative. So when I start watching the footage, I'm like, oh man, I was really struggling on this ride. Like this one, like I fell off 3 rocks, 2 logs, stubbed my toe on this rock. It was just a bad time. And sometimes I'll convey that. I'll be like, this is a really rough ride. And, you're going to watch me suffer. And the audio is going to kind of convey that as well. So I do. It's mostly post-production when I start to realize, I'm like, okay, this is my narrative. This is what I want to roll with.
You do shred. We've seen it. People will see it. People will subscribe. He's a great rider. But you leave in your flubs, your dabs, your everything. It makes you real.
Yeah, it's humanity.
It makes you real. And this is a question we brought up on the Ride and Laugh podcast. I don't know if it made it in the cut. I haven't watched it all yet, folks. I've been busy. But what was I going to say? We brought up the subject, I brought up the subject of, do people have to be really good at mountain biking in order to make a mountain bike video?
I don't think so. I think it's whatever you want to make out of it, because at the end of the day, content is so subjective. It can be whatever you want to create. And I think if you're trying to do something that you're not, like, that isn't you, then maybe that you'll notice that really quickly. Like if you're trying to ride like Remy Métellier, and you're a pretty average rider, and you're trying to show the trails that he's riding at that pace, it's not going to look the same. And if that's what you're going for. But if you're that average rider on those trails, you can try to convey, I'm an average rider riding double black trails in Canada, and this is the experience I'm having on it. So, but if you're trying to make like this super sick edit with all this crazy hyper editing and trying to show, but at the same time you're going 2 miles an hour, it may not have the same effect. So
you just gave me an idea for my next long.
Honestly, but that's the thing. If you're going for comedy or shock value or anything, that's it right there. That's hilarious.
Put some metal music to it, some cool film effects. Oh, that's how I'm going to do my next videos. I'm going to try to make an average rider look awesome.
Make a sick edit with it. I love
it. Thanks, Zane. I'm out now. I got what I needed from you.
That's a podcast.
I watch more for the story than the riding itself. That's the JT, the Dusty Dutchman.
Yeah.
It's true. When you're a good storyteller like JT here, you don't watch. Well, you do watch JT for his building his bike den or anything that he does, but his storytelling is second to none practically. He's a fascinating guy. You got to check him out. But you're just fun. Like you're laughing. You get that, the fun.
Yeah.
Like when I watch your stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm having fun with him. I even put that in the description, I think, is like, you're just entertaining.
That's what I want to go for. That's exactly what I want to go for. Like, I want people to experience what I'm experiencing. And most of the time, yeah, they're fun. And especially when we're at bike parks, I want you to feel like you're on just a high adrenaline kick with crew, having a great time, just, feeding off everyone's energy. Like when I'm not recording, like I was saying, like when I'm behind my friends and they're doing cool stuff, I'm yelling, I'm hollering, like I'm making exclamations about everything. If they do something super sketchy, I'm yelling at that too, because it's hilarious and it's fun to watch. So it's just, I don't know, I'm a very, I exclaim a lot while I'm riding.
Yeah, but it's just, it really, like, I find myself smiling at some of your videos. Like, it's just, you're bringing us along with your fun ride. It's not like some POVs that I've seen. I don't even know names of them, but it's just POV.
Yeah.
But like not even talking with a little bit of music. But you got your Android, and you're not just capturing you're capturing the fun. I can't speak highly enough of your stuff, man.
I
It's
appreciate
really
that.
great, really great. That's why I had to have Sploosh on there. 40 miles, 2,800 feet. There's just too much. I'm going to go back tomorrow and look at the first. I'm going to do a deep dive.
Oh gosh.
And then I'm going to give you my progress report on your growth.
Sounds good. Yeah, I've had quite a few comments, this is also something that feels really nice. A lot of comments are like, "Hey, I've been watching for at least 2 years now, and your riding has grown like crazy." And that's something that I try to remind myself of as well, because I realize like I've only been riding for like 5 or 6 years, and I have to tell myself all the time like I don't want to compare myself to that guy that's been riding for 15 plus years, that has ridden every bike in the book, and I've been on like 3 bikes, and I try to always keep it in perspective. It's just like I'll progress at my own rate. Sometimes you feel a certain way about jumps, about tech, things like that, and it's just not the cards that day. And I got to just remind myself, like, hey, I'm still not a veteran in the sport,
Yeah, but you're making connections.
Yeah.
You're making connections through your riding, and like in the comment section, my buddy Dave and his son, looks John. Sorry if I messed. Like they know who you are.
That's awesome.
And they saw you, and they saw Sploosh. How is that being from a vet tech to a pharmaceutical salesman for animals, right?
Basically, yeah. It's more
having
like
people going,
yeah.
It's Sploosh. You ever think that was going to happen one day?
No, I still to this day don't ever think about it until we're out on the trails and be like, "Hey, are you Sploosh MTB?" And then I always stop and have a conversation with anyone that will say hi on the trails, because it's really such a small world for people to at only like 2,500 subs, and you have people recognizing you out on your normal trail ride. So it's always a good time just kind of interacting with the community as well. I love when people say hi out on the trails, and especially if people have anything nice to say about the videos, like people enjoy this stuff. So it's been really nice to be able to get into the community that way.
It is fun. Dave he hopes to run into you on a trail soon.
Heck yeah. Where do you ride?
Let's make it happen. Where are you riding this weekend?
This weekend, who knows? But it's going to be like 70s all weekend. So I'm getting out there.
All right. That's perfect weather. What's the one? Sage, again, my podcast. You had no.
Sage already knows the answer to this one.
One thing you want to prove about your riding?
Sage knows the answer. One thing I struggle with is slow speed tech. That includes everything from skinnies, which is why Sage asked this question, I'm sure. But yeah, slow speed tech. Part of that, what makes that harder now as well, is I ride a really long slack bike, which is not great for slow speed tech. It's great for high speed stability, big jumps, even fast tech. But slow speed tech takes a lot of intricate moves, and moving around these like limousine of a bike, like it's rough. So that's one thing but I still make do. I do okay with a lot of technical riding that comes from some BMX background. I can really throw the bike around a good bit on some tech. But I would love to improve on that, because there's some people that can get out there, hit trials moves while balancing on rocks and skinnies and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I would love to be able to do some stuff like that.
I feel like I'm better at slow speed too, just because I'm a slow rider. But
that's a skill.
Yeah, to do anything slowly, I can't. I mean, am I, doing endo turns and stuff like that? No, but and you're a big guy.
Yeah.
So you're on an extra large.
I'm actually on a double XL. So I'm on, it specializes S6. So it's the biggest one they make.
Holy cow.
My arms and legs are just really long for my size. Like, I'm just really lanky.
I'm 6'1". I have a large Izzo, which feels comfortable, and I love being able to maneuver a smaller bike. But my decoy, she bought me an extra large, which I've ridden before. I'm kind of like in between. Like I feel comfortable in both.
Yeah.
It's very weird. But the e-bike, that's something to take takes used to because of my slow rider. And there is some tech that you have to be slow on down here. And
You
all
can
of a
get
sudden
going.
you want that crank. You want that non-e-bike, you know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
track standing maneuverability. And then the e-bike, as soon as you put your foot down it, you lose it. So now I find that I have to up gear
Yeah.
to be able to get that kind of tension, that torque, if you will.
Yeah, I never really thought about that for the e-bike, but that's really interesting because yeah, sometimes you need very precise amount of power for certain things, and if you're getting unpredictable torque because it's battery assisted, so yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Though you got a lot of rocks out there, like
Oh,
big
yeah,
boulders things.
yeah, lots of rocks to play with.
Boulders, not rocks.
Yeah, you can jump off all of them. It's a great time.
I'll ride around it. I did a boulder in Connecticut, and it was the first time I was riding someone else's bike, and they had an the thingy, the bobber with the button, and it changes the gear in the back.
Oh yeah,
I have that now, and it's the funniest thing. It's like, did I need that?
it's great. I can't go back.
It is. It really. Someone asked me about that, and I go, yeah, it actually, you do shift quicker and smoother.
Yeah.
But I didn't, the up, like with the cables, up is low gear, down is, so in my head, I had that going. And when I was going up this huge boulder, instead of downshifting, I upshifted, fell about 6 feet off a boulder.
Oh, jeez.
I went, oh, I can't pedal, and over. Boulders are so different for me.
They're rough. I mean, yeah, I mean, they hurt a lot more to land on. So that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's something about it. Just it's so interesting in the terrain and just how the bike handles it and how you can play around on rocks, and especially with like you get the differences from slabs that are just like downhill controlled speed to just being able to jump off certain rock drops and the way your bike handles off those things like that. So I really love that stuff. It's one thing is like, I love a flow trail. Anyone that says they don't love a flow trail is lying, or a jump trail or anything like that. But technical riding is so much fun because you get to feel your bike work in every single aspect. You feel the big tires working, you feel every millimeter of your suspension working, and then you realize why you pay that much for that bike.
Yeah. Holy cow. I just, mountain biking in Maryland, I left a long time ago. I don't even know if it was a thing then, but there's such a variety.
Oh yeah,
it's so ridiculous. You've got techie boulder stuff where you can't even see anything with leaves everywhere, and then you've got incredible bike park stuff. What was it? Which one was that?
Windy Ridge, yeah.
You got such a variety. It's almost like you can ride a different ride every weekend.
Yeah, and they're just updating so much stuff. Like our main, like just the trail network. So more MTB is like the main trail stewards. That's the right term for it. So the main trail stewards that control all the growth, all the refreshing new trails, things like that. So they work with all the trail liaisons for certain areas, and like the Frederick watershed, it is booming. It's like the greatest place to ride bikes in Maryland. And even now, we're getting a refresh to one of our best like OG jump trails with the boundary line. So by next year, or probably late this year, we'll have a brand new jump line there as well.
Wow. So Moore is kind of like the people that take care of all the trail systems in Maryland?
Yeah.
And what does Moore stand for again?
Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiasts. And they're like out in the DMV altogether. So they do some stuff out in Virginia and out in like the DC area and things like that.
Oh, the DMV,
mm-hmm.
The Delmarva.
No, so that Delmarva and DMV, that's one thing I had to learn when I came here first too. So DMV is going to be the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So it's kind of more along that lines of like all the suburbs of DC almost. So it's like all those areas. So even like Columbia, Elkridge, all that, that's all like DMV area.
That's incredible. So there's just one huge group that gets to, or they're not going to get into it, but they're probably it's an organization, but they have their own separate to take care of everything.
Exactly.
Is it funded through the government or?
I don't know. I'm not on like the corporate level with them, but I work directly with them now with like a partnership. So they help me out with some things and give me some insights on some videos, and I get some videos out to them that they can post on all their website and everything like that. So it's a good time, and it's a good time to be on a bike out here too, because there's just new stuff everywhere.
And question, and this is just strictly for me, do you have to pay to go to these places?
No. So everything, I mean, unless you're going to a lift access bike park, there's not a single penny you have to spend anywhere unless you're supporting the trails.
Oh, Miami is such a different place.
Really? So you have places that you have to like pay to ride? Oh my gosh.
Well, you don't have to pay to ride. You have to pay to park.
Is it to park? Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to pay. Well, you have to, Virginia Key, you have to pay to get into the park. So that's kind of pay to park.
Yeah.
I'll ride my bike there, especially now that I got an E. It takes me no time at all.
There you go.
Yeah, it's interesting how all these people, like my friends out in California, they're like, there's a mountain in my backyard. We just go ride that. I'm like, I gotta pay. Walker's Wild's in the house, folks. What up, fellas? Great content creator. Everybody's so good. I got to really start up in my game. You're inspiring me, man.
You're killing the short form game too. I saw a lot of that. I was like, man, it takes. That's the one thing I struggle with a lot is short form content, because quite honestly, I don't love making short form content. It's not like I love, the storytelling, the narrative, all the long form, everything that comes with long form. And then to take that and either try to condense it or just, translate it into something that short form people would enjoy watching and maybe even visit the channel because of it, that just never works for me. So I really don't do it much.
You don't do a lot of shorts and reels, huh?
Not so much. Every time I do, I'm just like, okay, maybe this will be a cool clip of riding, and that's about it. Every now and then I'll try to dabble with like, oh, let me promote this video by making a reel out of it, and it just doesn't really go the way I want it to. So yeah, I don't do too much.
Oh man, Walker Wild, baby. I'm so done with short form. JT says, I feel like that's the only thing that I get other than this. I get some traction because it allows me to be goofy for a quick, short amount of time.
That's perfect.
It's boom. I can get my goofiness out and it's fun. And I can take some videos that, again, I don't feel like I ride good enough for the long format. So I'll just take some clips and make the short. But you've inspired me. The average biker making a video look good.
Do it. I'm telling you, like there's so much you can add to that. Like, I don't know. There's definitely recording audio really well is such a big part of that as well. Yeah. It's like people love to hear reactions and just reactionary riding. So I think that's definitely something. Like, I have one of my friends that every now and then I'll strap the GoPro to him, and he's a very reactive rider, and he's not always looking up too far. And whenever he does hit something, he's like, "Oh my god, that's a rock! Oh, that's a root!" I'm like, it's hilarious the way it comes out, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're putting that in."
Oh man, are there? I know we're getting long here, and I'll wrap it up soon because I know you have a fiance that traded you for Sage tonight, or traded you to Sage. Are there a lot of mountain bike content creators in Maryland? Do you know of a lot of them, or do you follow a lot of them?
Not really. I would say within maybe within 100 miles, we've got a handful. So, I mean, obviously you've got some of the PA guys, you've got Nick and Katie, you've got Trail Sage, you've got Slanted Ground. He's doing a really good job with all his tutorials and stuff like that. So you've got some good channels out there, but it really is just like a handful. And that's kind of what inspires me to just keep going as well. Just keep making content. People want to see certain trail systems. People want to see, how much fun you can have here, what you can get into here. So there's not too much here, not too saturated.
Yeah, I feel that way. There's more Instagrammers down here. There's a few YouTubers that I follow, but yeah, it's just interesting, the content creating.
Yeah.
A lot of people just want to ride down here, and they'll see me with my GoPro, and then I'll hand them a sticker. Go and subscribe. It's kind of weird. They're probably, why are you giving me a sticker? I'm 40. Where am I going to put my sticker? Bo Wang, is Mongoose a good beginner bike? If not, what do you recommend? Thank you, Bo.
My brother-in-law being a troll.
Oh, he's trolling.
He's trolling because he's got a Mongoose and I make fun of it.
Okay, Bo, for that, you have to sub my channel now.
There you go.
So I could keep going, but we have lives and everybody needs to get dinner and whatnot. So I like to end my show, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you first. Is there anything that you would like to get off your chest?
Not really. We've
Oh,
talked about everything in between. So no, I mean,
everything in between. Oh, here's a question I want. Being a Marylander, and this is just for Marylanders, I guess. Crabs?
oh yeah. I grew up on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. It is all day blue crabs. Yeah.
Oh, where are you from in the Eastern Shore?
So Salisbury, Maryland, if you're familiar.
I went to Salisbury University.
I went to Salisbury University. Let's go.
Shut up, Seagull.
Why don't we start with this?
Why don't we start with this? You went to Salisbury?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think I graduated in 95. I'm an old man.
That's pretty close. I graduated in like 2015.
This is pretty close. I graduated 20 years later. Wow. Salisbury. That takes me back. I took my wife there once and I didn't even recognize how big it got.
Oh, it's come up a lot.
Big it got. And I remember living in a house, college house, 5 other people. We were paying $95 a month each in rent.
Oh my gosh.
It was $600 a month, I guess, or less for an entire, not a huge, but a house.
That's amazing.
Where'd you live?
I lived, so I mean, I grew up in Salisbury, so I lived like, what's that road? Bigland Park Drive or something like that. I lived like right off that. So I lived close to Wycomico High School, if you remember that one, because I used to be able to walk to school.
Wycomico High School. That was south on whatever that main street is in Salisbury.
50, right? Yeah, 50. Yeah. The one that takes you.
Oh, no, I was thinking of, is it 13?
Yeah, 13, the north-south one. Yeah.
Okay, folks, we're just geeking out about Maryland. Crabs. I come up every summer. I have to get crabs.
Oh, yeah.
I tell everybody I'm going to visit my mom, but it's for crabs. You get
I don't blame you.
You get the bushel. You pour it out on the table. No, my wife doesn't get it.
It's all about the pour.
It's about, no, she doesn't get to eating and the crabs. It takes hours.
Really?
Like, you guys are sitting there picking crabs for 3 hours. And I'm like,
crabs is a social event.
Thank you. It's sitting back with a natty bow and some friends and family, and you're just picking. And afterwards you go to dinner.
Yep. You're always still hungry afterwards.
You can get 10 crabs in and you're like, you want a burger?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. Yes, my wife brings it up. The tragedy of it not being called Salisbury State anymore.
Oh, man.
Was it Salisbury State University when you?
No, I heard of the history of it, but no, it was not Salisbury State when I was there.
It was Salisbury State, SSU, when I went there. And everyone's like, you go to Salisbury State University? Man, my whole life, I'm so glad that they took the state out. Now I can just say I went to Salisbury University. I lived in Essex, Maryland for 6 months. Oh, yeah. Where's Essex? I'm not good with Maryland.
That's like, so I lived in Towson before, and it's like the opposite end of Towson, but it's up there.
Okay. It was too cold. I like that. It was too cold. But it can be hot the next day.
Yep.
Okay, we got the crabs out of the way. How to get that out? Eastern Shore. So you went to Ocean City all the time? All
the time. Assateague more so, but yeah, all the time.
Assateague. We used to go. This is for us now, folks.
Yeah.
Assateague is an island where they allow. Well, they don't allow. There are wild horses everywhere, and we used to go at the end of every semester and camp out there, dig a hole in the sand, put a tarp in it, fill it with ice, put a keg in, and put a couple couches out on the beach. And then we'd go sleep in the tents and you open up and there's horses all around you.
Yeah, especially at night.
Oh, so amazing. Okay, so I'm reading things. Sorry. I have ADHD. I'm like, look, squirrel. I pause. Look, you got your first podcast out of the way. Okay, you got it with this guy. You can handle anything now. Any other podcast you show up on, you're like, I did it with Johnny. I can do this.
Too easy from here on out.
Okay, so I like to wrap the show up with 10 rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. They're never rapid fire.
Okay.
Describe your favorite breakfast.
Oh, classic. Eggs, hash browns, sausage.
Oh, I love a hash brown. Now, like a hockey puck hash brown or the shredded hash browns with maybe a little onion and pepper in there?
I like the processed stuff. Give me the hockey puck.
You like a hockey puck. You throw it in the toaster oven.
Yeah.
By the time the eggs are done. I love it. Oh, now my mouth's watering. What was something that you were afraid of as a kid?
Oh man, this one's not gonna be that rapid. I had a crazy phobia of like moths and butterflies. But I have a good story. If we're trying to keep this not rapid, I have a really good story.
No, man, right? You know, you got a story.
I was sleeping one night. I was young, but I actually had a moth crawl into my ear. No kidding, into my ear. And I woke up with the sounds of an insect in my ear. Horrible sounds, by the way, especially if it's inside your ear.
Oh.
And woke up freaking out. Told my parents everything. You know, Indian parents, first thing they do is they start pouring oil into my ear because that's what their parents did. So I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. So
be a thing.
Then like 2 a.m. they're pulling out pieces of this insect out of my ear because it's dead. And it's like, yeah, this is some like nightmare fuel for a child. And they're pulling out these pieces. And I think I woke up every night for the next like 4 or 5 days, showering in the middle of the night because I could feel something in my ear. There wasn't anything. It was just that's what I was feeling. And I'd say probably for the next like almost 10 years, probably until I was like a late teenager, I was pretty scared of moths and butterflies. Anything that resembled that level of flight, that floppy flight. I was like, I was not okay with that. And then one day I was just like, no, let me get over this. Let me stop.
No, that's not something that's real.
Yeah.
That's speaking of reels, that's my reel. I just wrote down that time code. That's a good one, man. Holy cow. Yeah, you see those videos of people pulling bugs or they'll drop something in there and then a spider will crawl out.
Oh yeah.
Goosebumps. Oh, I'm an arachnophobe. Okay. Favorite post-ride drink?
Post-ride drink. Ooh. I'm a big sours guy. I don't do too much beer, but when there's sours available, ooh, I love a good sour.
What the fuck is a sour?
Oh, sour beer? They're fruited sours, so they're like very fruity, but so they're almost like a beer cocktail. Best way to describe it.
Wait, I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't think I've ever had a sours.
Any place you go to will usually have like one sour on the menu, and the rest will be like IPAs and lagers, whatever. But sours, try one. I'm telling you.
Steve's like,
I will say, beer people, especially craft beer people, do not like sours. So I know I'm going to get some flack for it.
I tell you what, I went to the Bentonville Bike Fest, and I think I had my quota for the year or the 2 years of IPAs. I went to a liquor store last weekend to get something, and I stood there in front of the beer section looking for non-beer stuff, and I looked at this guy next to me, and I go, does that IPA taste different than that IPA? Or how about that one? Or that one? Or it's too much. It's overload.
Yeah.
Favorite song right now?
Ooh. Dang, that's a good one. I listen to a lot of music. I've been on a big The Weeknd kick recently, so his new album has been really good. There's one.
I can't feel my face when I'm without you.
That's a good one. Classic.
When I'm with you.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, his whole new album is just masterpiece.
Nice. He's a talented kid.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Okay, surf or turf? Meat or seafood? What would you prefer?
I can't. I love my seafood, but I love a good ribeye more than anything else. So you got to go turf.
Wow. Okay. Well, so I don't eat red meat, so seafood is my thing. Last show you binged?
I don't watch that much TV, but I will say the only show I ever truly binged was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like I have literally sat there and watched it all the way through multiple times. That's like the only show I've ever watched all the way through, and it's a classic.
Who did I just? Was it Zach the Tumor Warrior? I think was like. I was like, if you could be in one cartoon, what would it be?
That'd be the one.
And I think that was that's what he brought up. And I said, I don't know from Airbender. So you're recommending it?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a
Is it like
spiritual journey. Do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
For a kid's show, I'm telling you, when you watch it as an adult, because I grew up watching it as a kid, and I was like, okay, cool, nice animated show. And when you watch it as an adult a few times, you're like, oh wow, this is deeper than that.
wow. Okay. Honey, Airbender. We're watching Airbender. I'm watching Monsters, the Mendez brothers right now. It's messed up. Adolescence, folks. Adolescence on Netflix. It's 4 episodes. It's one of the greatest things I've seen on small screen in I don't know how long.
Okay.
I'm telling everybody this. One consecutive shot. You're a creator. You're a camera guy. You're an editor. It is phenomenal. It's just, I was in awe. I put it on to take a nap, and I watched all 4 right away. Anyhow, go-to snack.
Ooh, sour candy. Any sour candy, but specifically those like those sour strips, like the Airhead sour strips. Oh, so good.
Oh, it makes me gleek. I can't do sour. For the former, hold on. Wife has one extra question. For the former vet tech, you must ask what animal he'd be.
My favorite one is the snow leopard, like I said before. But if I had to be one, I've always been told I would be a golden retriever. Like if I was ever like reincarnated or something, golden retriever.
I've been described as one. Good energy.
I can see it. Yeah, golden retriever energy.
Good energy. Favorite childhood bike?
Oh, I grew up on Mongoose. That's the OG. A Mongoose 20-inch BMX that got me where I was. That got me where I am today. I was hucking off dumpsters and stuff with that thing.
You're making fun of Bo.
Well, Bo deserves to be made fun of. It's okay.
I would be a black beaver. Okay. Is actual human golden retriever. Okay. Your wife agrees.
I guess she does.
Or, I don't want to. Your fiance.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you're married. Last question, and this is serious. And there is a huge controversy over this. So I need you to focus on your answer. Ankle socks, yay or nay?
Nay. That's got to be a no from me. At least not that I would wear. I would see someone in ankle socks and I'd be like, all right, cool. That's the style, you know. But for me, no way. I gotta have all the way up to the calf.
I guess I got to change my old man ways.
It depends though. If you're wearing like just some, casual Vans or something like that, I can see it. It's good. You don't want long, tall socks for that. So.
Okay, so black or white socks then?
God, it depends on the fit. It depends on the shoes. You can't wear your black socks with your white Vans. It look weird. You got to go white on white for that. So.
Oh man, I got to change my ways, folks. Ankle socks, yeah or nay? Put your in the comment section. Johnny, are you wearing dress socks? No, I'm wearing those ankles. I'm in flip flops right now. I'm home, but I'll go tomorrow. I'll go to Marshall's or wherever you buy socks. I don't even know where you buy socks. I don't remember the last time I bought socks.
It's all Amazon these days. Whenever I get too many holes, it's Amazon.
Younger generation don't do the ankle socks anymore. 90s thing. Nick and Katie here. Nick, mid-length is the move.
They're playing it safe. They're not picking a side.
Well, no, like midway. You don't go halfway up your calf, do you?
Not halfway up, just right to my calf.
Just right, yeah.
But I've got really long legs, so yeah, maybe that's too much already.
Oh, have you seen mountain bike socks? There's mountain bike socks. Johnny's socks are like fingerless gloves. Just hold up everywhere. All right, useless. All right, Zane, I can't thank you enough for your time.
Likewise, man.
I hope you enjoyed your first podcast. Again, sorry it's with me. But see, I broke you in. You're feeling better now.
No, I love it.
what can we look forward to this year for you?
This year,
Yeah,
a
what
lot
can
of
we look
bike park, a lot of just pushing the envelope with editing, riding, everything. I want to commit so much to biking right now as far as like just progressing goes as well. So you're definitely going to be seeing a lot of progression there as well. This year's going to be a lot more airtime as well because I'm trying to, really dial in just really big jumps, whips, things like that. So just a lot of progression all around with the editing, the videos, the riding, everything. We're going up.
Nice. Can't wait to see it, folks. I hope you guys stay sub and watch his stuff. All of his Instagram and YouTube is down here in the description. I can't wait to see what you got next. I got to catch up on all your videos. I've watched a mess of them, but I got to keep watching, keep going. Got to get those likes for you. That helps the channel.
Likewise, I've been loving your stuff too, dude.
I appreciate you. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, especially, because I only really do short format. Folks, like and subscribe down here. Follow Zane, not Zane. And thank you guys for coming here and taking your time and watching this live with us, being along on this journey in this chat. It's been a lot of fun, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody in the comment section. Thanks, everybody who's watching later. Appreciate you guys. Now, if you can, go get your bikes dirty.